Biology class 10. Good morning, students. Today again we will continue the same chapter 4, absorption by roots, with certain new topics. In the previous class we had studied about some experiment. Today we will have another experiment on absorption and conduction of water in the plant. Today we will discuss the second experiment to show that water is conducted upward through the xylem. Xylem is one of the conducting tissue, vascular tissue, and xylem help in the ascent of shape. Means xylem conduct water only in upward direction, that is from root to the shoots of or the aerial parts of the plant. Here this experiment is to show xylem help in the conduction of water. So first of all, a medium-sized young balsam plant. Student must learn the name balsam plant. Is uproots washed and placed in a beaker containing a stain using solution in water. So this beaker containing using solution which is red or pink in color. The root should be completely submerged in the solution. This setup is kept aside for 3 to 4 hours. At the end of this period, the plant is taken out from the solution and washed in tap water. Then a transfer section of the roots means we will cut the root part transversely. So this is the transverse section of the stem. We will cut the stem transversely so that we have the transverse section of the stem. Then a transverse of the root, stem and leaf is made and examined under. So this is root, this is stem, and this is the leaf under a microscope. Then the xylem vessels will appear distinct from the rest of the part because it is stained by the eosin solution. Means when we uprooted a plant washed and kept in a eosin solution, then after 2 to 3 hours the xylem vessel present in the different part of the plant, that is the leaf, root, leaf and stem, it appears pink in color because it is stained by eosin solution. This proves that xylem conduct water in the upward direction. Clear all of you? Now come to the third experiment. Conduction of water through xylem can also be shown by another but delicate experiment. So this is the experiment. Take two leafy shoots such as those of balsam plant which have been cut under water to prevent any air bubble getting in. So this leafy shoots should be cut inside the water to prevent any air bubble getting in. Keep the lower end dipping in water. Remove about 3 cm long outer ring phloem of the stem in one of them as shown in beaker A. So in beaker A, the plant that is kept here, the phloem part is removed because phloem is located peripheral to the xylem. Xylem located in the central part and the phloem located peripheral to the xylem. So in beaker A, we will remove the phloem part. Here, the central part is removing. So here, in the first case, it is known as girdling, removal of the phloem from the stem. And here in figure B, the central part means xylem is located in the central part. So here the central part will remove from the stem. The shoots are then picked and allowed to remain for about 2 days with their lower end immersed in water. It will be found that the leaves in the first twig remain turgid and stand out almost normally, but those in the second twig get wilted and droop down. The experiment proves that water is conducted by xylem. That's why in figure B the xylem is removed, so it does not able to conduct water. That's why in figure B the leaves of that plant wilted and drooped down. This proves that xylem help in the conduction of water, not the phloem. Phloem help in the transportation of food. Clear all of you? Okay. Now come to the fourth assignment. To show that food from the leaves is conducted downward through the phloem in the stem. Cut a ring around the stem of a healthy potted plant or around a thin twig of guava or any other tree deep enough to penetrate the phloem and cambium but not the xylem. So this is known as girdling. Girdling is the removal of phloem, that because phloem is located peripheral to the xylem. It will be seen that sap start oozing out from the further cut margin of the stem, showing thereby that sap in the peripheral part flow in downward. Here the sap will be flowing downward. After some week, it will be observed that the part of the stem above the ring has grown in diameter. See the difference. See the difference in the diameter of these two parts, starting and they say ending of the experiment, and after certain days the part here will increase in diameter because whatever the food is transported by the phloem will remain stored here, and due to the storage of food here in this part the diameter of the stem will increase. This proves that phloem transport food in the downward direction. Clear all of you? Okay. Now the last topic of this chapter, forces contribute to ascent of shape. So initially we had discussed one force known as root pressure. So if the plant is short in height, small in height, in that type of plant, root pressure alone sufficient for the ascent of shape. That is, root pressure alone is sufficient for the upward movement of water from the roots to the aerial part. But if plant is tall, then along with the root pressure, there are some other forces equally contribute in the ascent of shape, and these forces are capillarity, transpiration pull, adhesion. Clear? So all these forces, root pressure, capillarity, transpiration pull and adhesion, contribute in the ascent of shape, that is in the upward movement of water. Clear? So water root pressure build up sufficient force to push the shape in the xylem vessel up to a certain height and may be enough for herbaceous plant, because herbaceous plant are small in height like paddy, rice, paddy, etc. Second, capillarity. See, this is one capillary tube with both the ends are open. Initially, a practice was there to take some liquids from a small bottle with the help of a dropper. Nowadays, dropper are replaced by capillary tube with both the ends are open. One important thing in the capillary tube, narrow the diameter of the capillary tube, maximum force is there. Means more narrower, more forces is there. Narrow diameter of xylem vessel causes the water from a lower level to rise to fill up the vacuum created by the loss of water due to transpiration from the leaf. What is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Narrower the diameter of a tube, greater will be the height of water rising in it, exerting a force called capillary force. Clear? Now transpiration pull. As the water is lost from the leaf surface by transpiration, more water molecules are pulled up due to the tendency of water molecules to remain joined. So the water molecules have a particular property. That property is known as cohesion. Means two water molecules combine to form a larger molecules. So due to this property, as well as loss of water from the plant, more water molecules are pulled up, and thus to produce a continuous column of water through the stem. Now adhesion. Again, water molecule have a particular property, means a water molecule can stick to any surface with some exception. So adhesion, it causes the water to stick to the surface of cell, thus drawing more water molecules from below when the leaf cells lose water during transpiration. This pulling force provided by the leaves is especially important in tall trees such as which do not have enough root pressure. So these forces, means all these forces are helpful in the tall trees. Transpiration pull, adhesion, capillarity, root pressure. All these forces contribute in the ascent of shape. Dear student, you have all the basically or mainly learn the main point, that is root pressure, capillarity, transpiration pull and adhesion. Clear? Okay. So this is the end of the chapter. In the next session we'll start a new chapter. Before that, all of you must go through the exercise. Clear? So have a good day. Bye all of you.